Hello everyone, myself Reema Raval, Assistant Professor at LG Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Electronics and Communication. Here we are discussing the subject Data Communication and Networking. In that we will discuss Unit number 1, Introduction to Data Communication and Networking. In this unit, today's topic is the TCP/IP reference model. Let us see the introduction part first. The TCP/IP model was designed and developed by Department of Defense (DoD), US Department of Defense in 1960s and is based on standard protocols. It stands for Transmission Control Protocol, that is TCP, or Internet Protocol, that is IP. The TCP/IP model is a concise version of the OSI model. It contains 4 layers, unlike 7 layers in the OSI model. The OSI model we looked at, it's just a reference or logical model. It was designed to describe the functions of the communication system by dividing the communication procedure into smaller and simpler components. But when we talk about the TCP/IP model, it was designed and developed by DoD in 1960s based on some standard protocols. Let us see the TCP/IP reference model architecture. The layer 1 of TCP/IP reference model is host to network layer. The second layer of this model is internet layer. The third layer is transport layer, and the fourth layer is application layer. So, unlike ISO OSI reference model in which there were 7 layers, in TCP/IP reference model there are only 4 layers. Let us look into these layers in detail. The first layer, that is the host to network layer, it is the lowest layer that is concerned with the physical transmission of data. The TCP/IP reference model does not really say much about what happens here except to point out that the host has to connect to the network using some protocol so it can send packets to it. This protocol is not defined and varies from host to host and network to network. These are some example protocols of host to network layer. First one is ARPANET, which stands for Advanced Research Project Agency for Networking. Second one is SATNET, that is Satellite Networking. Third one is Packet Radio, and the fourth one is LAN, which stands for Local Area Networking. The next is the Internet layer. Its job is to permit hosts to inject packets into any network and have them travel independently to the destination, which is potentially on a different network. They may even arrive in a different order than they were sent, in which case it is the job of higher layers to rearrange them if in-order delivery is desired. The Internet layer defines an official packet format and protocol called IP, Internet Protocol. The job of the Internet layer is to deliver IP packets where they are supposed to go. So the examples of Internet layer protocols are ICMP, which stands for Internet Control Message Protocol, IGMP, which stands for Internet Group Management Protocol, RARP, which stands for Reverse Address Resolution Protocol, and ARP, which stands for Address Resolution Protocol. Let us see the next layer, that is the transport layer. It is designed to allow peer entities on the source and destination hosts to carry on a conversation. Two end-to-end transfer protocols have been defined here. The first one, TCP, which stands for Transmission Control Protocol, is a reliable connection-oriented protocol that allows a byte stream originating on one machine to be delivered without error on any other machine in the internet. The second protocol in this layer, UDP, that is User Datagram Protocol, is an unreliable connectionless protocol for applications that do not want TCP's sequences or flow control and wish to provide their own. So these are the main two protocols at the transport layer. One is connection oriented, that is TCP, and the another one is connectionless, which is UDP. Here TCP is a reliable protocol and UDP is an unreliable protocol. Now the next layer is the application layer. The TCP/IP model does not have session or presentation layers. As there were in ISO OSI reference model, there is no need of them was perceived, so they were not included. On top of the transport layer is the application layer. It contains all the higher level protocols. The early ones include virtual terminal, that is Telnet, telecommunication networking, file transfer protocol, that is FTP, and an electronic mail protocol, that is SMTP, which stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. The virtual terminal protocol allows a user on one machine to log on to a distant machine and work there. The file transfer protocol provides a way to move data efficiently from one machine to the other. These are the examples of application layer protocols. First one is Telnet, which stands for telecommunication networking. Second one is DNS, that stands for domain name system. And the third one is HTTP, which stands for hypertext transfer protocol. Now this is the overview of protocols and networks in the TCP/IP reference model. The first layer is host to network layer. In this network, the protocols are or networks are ARPANET, SETNET, Packet Radio, and LAN. As discussed, ARPANET stands for Advanced Research Project Agency for Networking. SETNET stands for Satellite Networking, Packet Radio, and the fourth one is LAN, which stands for Local Area Networking. The above layer is Internet layer, which has the main protocol IP, that is Internet Protocol. Then in the transport layer, main two protocols are there, TCP and UDP. From these two, one is connection oriented and another one is connectionless protocol. Then the application layer, the protocols are Telnet, FTP, SMTP, and DNS. Telnet stands for telecommunication networking. FTP stands for file transfer protocol. SMTP stands for simple mail transfer protocol, and DNS stands for domain name or domain name system. Let us look at one video to get the brief idea about the TCP/IP reference model. I hope that now the TCP/IP reference model is clear. Now let us see a comparison of the OSI and TCP/IP reference models. As shown here, the OSI reference model has 7 layers, and in TCP/IP reference model, the 2 layers, session and presentation layers, are absent. This is the main difference between OSI and TCP/IP reference model. The OSI and TCP/IP reference models have much in common. Both are based on the concept of a stack of independent protocols. Also, the functionality of the layers is roughly similar. Despite these fundamental similarities, the two models also have many differences. Let us look at this comparison table. In the OSI reference model, it has 7 layers, whereas in TCP/IP reference model has 4 layers. This is the main difference. Second point, the OSI model defines services, interfaces, and protocols very clearly and makes clear distinction between them. It is protocol independent, whereas in TCP/IP, services, interfaces, and protocols are not clearly separated. It is also protocol dependent. The OSI model has a separate presentation layer and session layer, whereas TCP/IP does not have a separate presentation layer or session layer. The fourth point is that the OSI follows a vertical approach, whereas the TCP/IP follows horizontal approach. The OSI model has the transport layer which guarantees the delivery of packets, whereas in the TCP/IP model, the transport layer does not guarantee delivery of packets. Still, the TCP/IP model is more reliable. Now, the OSI model acts as a communication gateway between the network and the end user, whereas the TCP/IP is a communication protocol which allows connection of hosts over a network. So these are the main comparisons of OSI reference model and TCP/IP reference model. These are the references. This is the GTU syllabus of this subject. This is the textbook you can refer for this. And these are the another website that may be useful to you. Now let us quickly revise the TCP/IP reference model. In this, first layer was host to network layer. The second layer was internet layer. The third layer was transport layer, and the fourth layer was application layer. Okay, so as you can see, if you are going to compare this with the ISO-OSI reference model that we have seen earlier, that means in ISO-OSI reference model there were 7 layers. The first layer is physical layer. Second was data link layer. The third one was network layer. The fourth one was transport layer. Then session layer. And the next one was presentation layer. And the last one was application layer. Okay, so these were the 7 layers of ISO-OSI reference model, right? But now in this TCP/IP reference model, there are 4 layers: host to network, internet, transport, and application layer. So here, application layer, transport layer, and network layer are same to that of ISO-OSI reference model, but the main layer, session and presentation layer, are not present in this TCP/IP reference model, right? Because the session and presentation layer not included the main roles of the function or else of the reference model. So these layers are removed from the TCP/IP reference model, right? So this is a TCP/IP reference model. We have seen that host to network layer, which was the lowest layer. Okay. Then we have seen the internet layer, its example protocols. Then the next transport layer, In that we have seen TCP and UDP. Then the next is application layer, in which we have seen Telnet, DNS, HTTP protocols. Then all the overviews of the protocols which we have used in this TCP/IP reference model according to the layer. Then we have seen the comparison of the TCP/IP reference model and OSI reference model, and then we have seen this comparison table. Okay, so now the main two reference models, that is IS-OSI reference model and TCP/IP reference model, is over here. If there will be a standard paper, these reference models are important for your exam point of view. You need to know roles of each and every layers of these models, and you also need to know why some layers are not there in TCP/IP reference model and why it is required, and which is the approaches nowadays for OSI and TCP/IP reference model. There are some critics for OSI as well as TCP/IP reference models. You can say in OSI reference model, bad timing is also a critic, right? So all of this are the main issues of OSI reference model, and you can refer the previous session lectures, so that you can define the individual roles of OSI reference model, and then you can compare this with this present TCP/IP reference model. Okay, so make sure that you need to know each and every layers of these two reference models. Okay. Thank you once again.